Whew. Alright. Hello, Internet, I'm me, and this is a Tokusatsu review on a grander scale. We're trying to do something different today, and we're going to also not talk about just Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, but we are going to talk about some other international Tokusatsu. I'll get to that right when we need to. I'll just run through Tokuger and Kamen Rider Drive first, and then I'll get into the two Tokusatsu that I'm actually looking at, or started looking at, that are internationally made, that are kind of original to their own countries and origins, and talk about that. And then talk about why I'm kind of getting into a lot of international Tokusatsu now. Whew. Let's start with Rishu Sentai Tokuger, and this is going to be kind of an overview of the show. Of course, the show has not ended. I have not watched the battle for Christmas battle. I'm sorry, episode yet, which is episode 41. But I will be, and I'll have a full review for the ending when it comes in. And yes, I am actually kind of looking forward to Ninja, and yes, I am looking forward to Dino Charge, because it's actually looking kind of cool, and again, I threw my hat in that ring. But they already have a Super Sentai fan in the cast, so who knows, maybe, maybe not, who gives a shit. I'm still doing this, and I still have other plans. So, first, Tokuger. Tokuger has been going on pretty well for me. It's kind of a guilty pleasure. Like Kyoryuger, I just like it because it's fun. It has actually better story elements than Tokuger. I'm sorry, Kyoryuger. But, like, the villains, for instance, and the way the world works, it's actually a little more interesting, a little more involved. And the power struggle between the villains in the group is actually really fun to watch, and you want to see what happens when these dynamics clash against each other. And then, ooh, excuse me, and then seeing the Tokuger kind of on their own mission, getting in between these clashing factions of villains. It's actually kind of interesting and really cool to watch. I like it. The show, of course, does start out a little goofy, which the first 20 episodes are very goofy. It was a comedy series. It's a very comedic series. Um, and only now does it start to ground itself in its own story and really start to explore it. It had the potential back in the first 20 episodes, but it really started to explore it kind of now, where things get a little more serious. Of course, the monsters are still silly, but they get a little more serious and they start to get into it a little more. So I've actually been really enjoying it, and I'm basically giving this overview because I've missed so many episodes to review. I'm just going to give you a shotgun blast of what I just think, and I like it. Um, of course, there's problems. There's always problems. There's issues. There's character flaws and development that doesn't make sense. But you know what? When a show is fun enough, when it has me engrossed enough just to have fun with it, I'm willing to overlook some things. That's how most movies and TV shows work anyway. Speaking of slow builds, we are on to Kamen Rider Drive. Kamen Rider Drive is kind of boring the shit out of me. I'm not hating it. I'm really not. It has a lot of potential, like an insane amount. Like the way these villains are portrayed, the way the villains have been created. They're very interesting. Machine Chaser is interesting. Again, the villains are quite interesting, and the hero could be so much more interesting. But if they're kind of doing it. They're waning out the carefree, annoying type of character the main character was beforehand, and bringing in this more serious detective character, which could be good. Which the potential for it could be really good, especially with his sense of obligation and right and wrong, and especially when he feels guilt for having his friend get hurt during the world slowdown. I still take umbrage a little with the fight scenes being either very basic or the slowdown, the density shifting shit, which they've calmed down on and actually made it just to where the fight scenes flow a little better, which is fine by me. And the monsters have gotten a little more creative, which again, fine by me. But the cases are still fucking like lines. They are like Scooby Doo plots. Like, if you haven't figured it out, like, in the first 10 minutes of the episode, then, I don't know, you're not going to be surprised by the 20-minute mark because you're going to figure it out anyway. And they will tell you who it is, and then the second episode will be finding who it is. It's like, thanks. Um, yeah, that one's, yeah. Um, but yeah, one of the things one little detail that I wanted to put in there because it's quite interesting, is the fact that the gun, the door gun, um, which is ridiculous, but who gives a shit? But I love how he holds the gun. Because many people will comment that he holds the gun weird. And he actually holds the gun like a gun. Because actually, when you hold a gun in movies, you do not hold it the way you see it in shows and movies. You don't. Like if you watch John Wick, that's how you hold a gun. If you watch Kamen Rider Drive, that's how you hold the gun. You hold it sideways. And you point up, and you can actually bring it in. It's actually a different way of holding it. You never hold it from the bottom. That's called teacupping, and everybody laughs at you. Every real cop, everybody who's actually trained in guns will laugh at you if you try to hold a gun like this, because this does nothing. But yeah, I've gotten training, and people have told me this shit. So now I see gun technique everywhere. It's like the Matrix. But but yeah, I did like the idea that, like, since he is a cop and he gets a gun, he holds it like an actual cop would hold a gun. Like, and that was pretty badass. I liked it. Moving on though. I'm hoping that Kamen Rider Drive will do better and actually bring its story up as it goes along, which it looks like it can. Moving on, we're going on to the first Filipino, well, not Filipino, I think it's, well, not the first Filipino tokusatsu, but I think it is one of it's the newest one. It's actually very independent, very low budget, but it's going to be a web series. It's called Mythos, of course incorporating the mythos of the Filipino culture, which is, one, interesting, because, again, with tokusatsu, there's so much culture of how people would do things in that country into the storyline, that just seeing the Filipino culture and what they think of as mythos and legends and how they interpret that is interesting enough for a series. But they have a three-man team, of course, green, yellow, and blue, and they have a Red Ranger, but the Red Ranger is a villain. He's going to be fighting the core team. And that's kind of cool. If you know, just go check it out. Again, it's called Mythos, Filipino Tokusatsu. Check it out. The teaser's out right now. Just go check it out and look at it. It looks interesting enough. Again, low fucking budget. Like, low budget. Seriously. Don't expect, like, you know, but it looks fine for low budget. It looks good. It looks interesting enough. The cinematography is fine. Fight choreography is pretty good. It's not bad. It's in there. And for the teaser that I saw, it's not bad. It looks promising. It looks like it can grow. Speaking of growth, we have a Chinese tokusatsu, which has, I think, 6 members in its team, but I held up 7. But I don't know if they're actually integrated in the show yet. They're in the opening title sequence, but I gotta say one thing. Let me move the mouse around so my screen doesn't fucking die out. But I have 2 things to say about this show. One, I like some of the fight scenes. I like the practical effects with the fight scenes. It actually does mech battles really fucking well. There's actually a mech battle. I've only watched 2 episodes. But there's a mech battle where there's a magnet monster that can suck up electricity. Don't ask. But there's in the mech fight where, like, you know, the monster's giant. Actually, the monster is never small. He's always giant. I think. No, he's small. Never mind. But when he's giant, one of his magnet catches fucking fire. And it stays on fire. And it's real fire. It's not CG. It's real fucking fire. And They did a fight scene with one of the costumes on fire, which was badass. And two, the sound design team hates this show, or just not doing their job. Um, there are like design flaws, like sound design flaws. Like, I mean, the costumes are good, the mechs are good, the CGI, it's the first. It's not that. It's okay. It's not like the best ever, but it's a TV show in China, and it's their kind of their first tokusatsu. Who gives a shit? Um, like again, like the CGI is passable. The fight scenes are okay. They're not bad. Not bad at all. Of course, this is lower budget. This isn't as high budget. The set design is actually pretty nice. Like, especially the villain's lair. The villain's lair looks outside like they're under the sea. They're like seafaring like demons or shit. I couldn't tell because there's no subtitles. But they're seafaring and they're like it's like the outside of it looks like almost a science sea lab, but the inside looks like an ocean cave. It looks so good. Costuming, it's not a bad little tokusatsu. If I had subtitles, I'd know what the fuck was going on. But it's not bad. And I forgot your name, dude, but there was a guy who actually sent me the link to the episodes in my last video. I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for turning me on to that. I wouldn't have seen it if you did not turn me on to that. And thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm really happy that you did that. And now we get to where we're talking about why am I looking so hard into international tokusatsu? Well, international tokusatsu is interesting because, again, like I said, you get into how other cultures, other countries would interpret tokusatsu. Sure, they would they all kind of derive their tropes from Super Sentai, from Power Rangers, from what they see Tokusatsu originally from, but they throw in their own ideas, their own mythos, their own creativity. And, you have a lot of that in Indonesia and Philippines and China now, and it's all starting to come up. So, me and my friends kind of made our own. Say hi to the Green Paladin. We're gonna start developing our own tokusatsu too. This bad boy, he lights up on the inside, but it's too bright out here to see. But yeah, we're planning out our own tokusatsu for ourselves. Maybe the first, well, probably not the first, but an American tokusatsu, and we're actually working on it now to finish the designs, get a teaser up, and probably a Kickstarter as well, so that we can get this bad boy on a roll, and so that we can pay some people. Yeah, it's a fun project that we've been working on, and it's been kind of why I haven't been doing reviews as much. Like almost every day, I'm working on like me and my friends are either working on a design for a suit, to the helmets, to the storyline. The storyline we actually have like kind of based out, but and I can't tell you, or else you won't watch the show. And of course, we've been experimenting with like fight scenes by doing like little action shorts that we can just kind of pick and choose like what we want to do and experiment with random shorts that mean nothing, so that when we get into this, we can do fight scenes that will no, well, I hope they blow your mind. And get creative on your asses. But yeah, that's why I'm talking about international tokusatsu, because I'm now going to try to be a part of that. We're going to try to bring an American tokusatsu to the front. So, tell me what you guys think about this bad boy. What do you think about this design? Yes? No? You like it? It's already made, so, too bad, but if you think it's looking pimp, let me know in the comments. If you guys have any other tokusatsu that you want me to watch that are outside of Japan or in Japan that just don't get that much knowledge. I've watched Garo, I've watched Ultraman, I've watched Kikaider, I've watched basically all the Toei and outside Toei ones, so that are big. So Just giving you a fair warning there. But if you guys want me to check anything else out, you know what? 2015's coming up. I'll start reviewing random other tokusatsu while I'm at it. So, until next time, y'all, peace. Oh, and Happy New Year's, everybody, and a late Merry Christmas.